Hello, hello, all you Bond fans and Bond girls and Bond boys. This is Geeks Assembled Audio Heads, and we are talking this week about Thunderball, uh, or rather, it's sort of a shortened version of the book, but it's a longer. By a couple minutes, I think, longer than the movie is all. It's got it's it's got a lot of good stuff to it. However, in deference to my co-host or my co-partner here, the other geek in the room, what had narration? What? A little bit. So I just want to find out whether or not Lee is going to pan this for the narration purposes, or gonna, or if he's gonna have enjoyed it at all. I personally find Tom Conti really sexy and really hot and stuff, but this is just his voice. He played Batty. He played. Anyway, so what did you think, Lee?
Well, yes, you don't need the narration. You don't. As good as Martin Jarvis is playing Ian Fleming, you don't really need Ian Fleming to narrate parts of the story because the story does it all. The actors do it all. You don't need that. But I know for a fact, because there's many of these audios Radio 4's made.
Yeah.
They have narration in all of them, in most of them, I would say. But at least it wasn't a lot.
No, but it was, I did notice that it was there, and that perhaps you would be
Yeah, you just don't need that. A good radio play drama, you can write it so you don't need the narration.
Yeah.
And the actors do the rest.
Yep.
That's personal, but apart from that,
it's also because you're spoiled because of Big Finish, right?
it's not just Big Finish. Other audio drama production companies do that as well.
Yeah, Baffle Gal and others. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. You just don't need the narration. Saying that, if people were going to listen to this audio adaptation of Thunderball, expecting the full-on action, underwater action, and high intense thrill of the movie from the 60s, starring Sean Connery, that's not what you get.
No.
Because this is adapted from the book. The movies always take well, it's Hollywood, isn't it? They just add things on and make it more fantastical. But this goes back to the basic book elements, what Fleming wrote. There is some slight changes here and there, but not many. So yes,
part of those slight changes must be that it was shortened, because I'm sure that if you were to read the actual text of the book, audiobook style, I bet it would be like between 4 and 8 hours long. So it is.
No, well, the book's that big because I've got the complete.
It's like between 180 pages and 250 pages is about between 4 and 8 hours.
And I've noticed finding these audios online because they're freely there on YouTube and everything. The span nearly 90 minutes. Each one's about 90 minutes. So about a movie's length, say.
Yeah, it is written, it's scripted like a movie. So it doesn't describe the the scenes and everything. It doesn't narrate that bit very much, but I mean, it isn't like a book reading. It's like a book. It's a book drama, and that was the fun part. Was that it had a good.
Yeah.
Who was in the cast?
Well, you've got in the cast Toby Stephens playing James Bond, great actor, which is ironic really because he's played a Bond villain in the movies.
I think so. Yeah.
He played Gustav Graves in Die Another Day against fought against Pierce Brosnan. He was the main villain in the movie. So he's turntables. He's playing Bond now, and he's played Bond in all of them, apart from one audio, where Michael Jaston played Bond.
Yep.
But every other one has been Stephens.
Well, Michael Jackson is the Lazenby of audio. What?
Yeah, I think he did. You Only Live Twice.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. That was back in 1990, I think. These ones with Toby Stephens only started in the 2000s. So, but they've done nearly all of them, I think, except for two and just the short stories. I don't think they've done The Spy Who Loved Me and Casino Royale. Maybe that's what coming up in the next few years. I don't know. And so they haven't done the short stories like For Your Eyes Only and Octopussy. But going back to this, the cast, you see, you've got Toby Stephens, brilliant actor. Villain Emilio Largo, played by Tom Conti, as you can see there. He very subtly played villain, and no eye patch, because in the movie the Largo had an eye patch.
Yeah.
No eye patch there. I mean, this is the third. I mean, there might be more versions, but this is the third version of Thunderball I know about, because it was remade with Connery in the 80s.
Yep.
As Never Say Never Again. But you've got Tom Conti as Largo, then you've got Blofeld in this. He's in it, but he's not in it much. And you've got Alfred Molina.
That was fun too.
Blofeld. I mean, some great actors in here for only small parts. Let's have a look. Who else we got? Domino's Janet Montgomery, Felix Leiter, Josh Stamberg, John Standing. What a great British actor John Standing is. Who else we got? Q, Julian Sands, another well-known British actor.
Yeah. He played the Ori in Stargate SG-1.
Well, if you go even further back than that, in the 80s, he played main role in the Warlock movie.
Oh yeah.
Ian Ogilvy as the governor, most famously known as the Simon Templar in the 70s reimagining of the Saint.
Saint. Yeah.
So you've got a lot of well-known names in here. In this sort of, it's a straightforward story, really. A plane disappears or is hijacked with an atomic bomb, and Spectre is going to hold the world to ransom with this bomb.
For $100 million, is what it was?
Yes. I wonder where he gets those ideas from. But
and the other thing is that a lot of the gadgetry that was given to Bond was to detect nuclear weaponry, which was great fun.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite a simple story. Largo is the head of the section of Spectre who's searching for the atomic bomb, which is underwater. The plane is underwater in the Bahamas.
Yep.
In the Bahamas, And of course, Bond finds it, goes down and finds the atomic bomb and all that, and double crossing Largo with Domino, and
Yep.
it's a good tale. You say you've got Felix Leiter, a great character from many actors have played him on the film.
Mhm.
Great. They work so well together on audio. Felix Leiter and Bond.
Yeah, it wasn't so camp.
No, yeah,
Because especially with Moore, oh my God, the American actors, that guy who played Leitner in the 80s, so camp. It was like, oh my gosh, this is an over the top. Uh,
yes, but don't diss more. My favorite Bond.
I didn't. What did I say? I didn't say nothing. Come on, Lee, just relax.
Yeah,
God,
that's
chill the fuck out. No, I didn't. Seriously, didn't say anything bad about Moore. I said,
yeah.
said that Leitner was camp. That's all I fucking said. Oh my God.
But
I'm so sorry.
yeah, but to get actors like Tom Conti, Alfred Molina, Julian Sands and stuff, people like that, just to play, because Largo wasn't in it much. He was only in a section on the disco,
Yep.
the boat, and then also the underwater scenes. But you didn't really talk much under the water because you can't really.
It was a yacht. It wasn't like a cruise ship. So like there wasn't a lot of places for people to disappear to. So Lago couldn't really disappear. He pretty
Yeah.
much had to stay.
He was on his treasure. He was on his treasure hunt. I mean, this is what the whole story was. He was after his treasure hunt.
Hunt, like doubloons or something in a
That's
sunken.
what that's what they thought. But really, he was looking. It was the atomic bomb.
For that there.
And also as well, if you're a Bond aficionado, Thunderball, the name Thunderball is described why it's called Thunderball.
Is that the British description of the mushroom cloud?
Well, it was called Operation Thunderball to go and get the atomic bomb, and
Right.
that's why they said
Because
the ship, Thunderball. That's when it went off. That's why it would. That's why they called it Thunderball.
so the mushroom cloud is called a thunderball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you ever watched the movies or whatever, and you thought, well, why is it called Thunderball?
kind of.
Kinda, yeah, but now we know why. But all in all, it was it was just short of 90 minutes. It didn't drag. If you know the story, you know the story. I mean, I love James Bond, so I knew the story sort of off by heart.
Yeah,
Book wise, I've read the books, I've seen the movies. This is the audio adaptation of the book, and it sort of sticks to the book.
yeah,
It's a good thing about it. It doesn't go into the world of fantastical,
yeah.
but you still get a good story with some good acting in it.
Yeah.
And I say I can't knock Toby Stevens. I think he's a very underrated actor.
Yep.
I mean, he's got two famous parents. Sir, what's his name? Robert Stevens. No longer with us. Great actor, British actor he was, and also his mother, Maggie Smith.
Really?
So, yeah, Toby Stevens' mother's Maggie Smith.
Oh, really?
Didn't you know that?
I don't know anything, but that's
Yeah.
really interesting and that's really cool.
Ah,
I really like her. She's fantastic in
you just made me doubt myself. I've just checked.
she was
Yeah, Maggie Smith.
in the Downton Abbey, and she was absolutely fantastic next to Tom Baker in The Millionairess.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his mother is Dame Maggie Smith. Dame Maggie Smith.
Yes, I
His
know.
father was Sir Robert Stevens,
Okay.
so it's come from good stock.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know his father from anyone.
Rob,
You know his.
Robert Stevens. Robert Stevens was mainly a theatrical actor, but
Okay.
he did go into movies. He did go into TV. My most fond memory of him was playing the villain in the Christmas adaptation of Box of Delights, starring Pratchett Troughton. He played the villainous.
We watched
He
that.
played the villain. Yeah, we did. We reviewed it a few years back. He played the villainous vicar.
That's right. Okay. I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, but
Yep.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, give me Bond any day. I love Bond. So, I mean, you could have chose any Bond audio, but I know why you chose this one.
Well, because of Tom Conti, of course, because he's a cutie, and even though he's like, I think he's a little conservative or a little like Tory-ish, uh,
Mhm.
and he's all political anymore, and he's pretty rarely in things anymore. I don't think he's done much in the past 10 years. Uh,
Wait, he's done this one.
Oh, I know, but I mean, I don't think he's done much. But he's just a great. Got a great voice, and he's got a singular personality.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I did enjoy this, and I liked I liked all the underwater stuff, and I thought that was those soundscapes were great. I thought that they really made it seem like they were way down deep. And that's hard to do. It's hard to like envision, but I like what I got there. The acting got me there, and the other thing that I really liked was the the watch. Bond had a watch that apparently had a minute hand that was a Geiger counter, and
Mhm.
um, and instead of having a click, 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 it would go around in succession as the radiation increased. So I thought that was such a good good piece of tech, good gimmick. I mean, you got to admit that James Bond is really well outfitted. Like he's got like Q and M with all the intel and Q with all the all the isn't that like his quartermaster or something, whatever. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Q in the books was called Quartermaster.
Yeah. And that
Uh,
was interesting that they did that they referred to him as that, and like that. But the watch, and then the swimming unit, and then the things that he wore, and like how he was able to share with Domino, and so like all those fun things were really cool. He's like Batman. Okay, I gotta tell you, if you're into gadgetry, like that's like a big thing for me. I'm pretty into tools. I used to have a really elaborate toolkit, and I had like a hand drill and a leaf blower, and I had an electric lawnmower. I had a electric clippers. I had one of those weed whackers. I had all these amazing tools. I had uh, channel locks. I had all the socket. I had a complete socket set. I had all the tools, and Batman and Bond have better tools than I ever had, and that's just neat for me. And so yeah, that's that. I mean, Bond can be misogynistic and a Lothario if he wants to be, because he's got cool tools, I suppose. but he's not in everything. And in this one, he wasn't that way. He was, you know,
Mm.
he had work to do with countering underwater animals and stuff like that. He had stuff to do, and that was really the fun bits were his underwater stuff, and then when he's getting the gizmos. And so yeah, I'm gonna pass this over to Lee and find out what his favorite moments are as well.
Well, I liked at the beginning where was putting Bond through his paces, health farms, and that was quite fun. Um, Also, the card, I can't remember what card game he was playing with against Largo.
Hmm.
He was winning him all the time,
Hmm.
which you'll find in nearly all the Bond books. There's always a card game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, I think that was that they were playing 21 or Rummy or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Bond always seems to win on the card games, and also as well the same card game where he's just talking opposite Largo, and he just puts the word Spectre into the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. It was just a word drop.
Largo, yeah, Largo thinks, oh, hold on a minute, well, but he's just trying to he's put it in there to see what reactions he gets.
Uh,
Great playoff between two of them.
huh.
Um, as I say, Largo are very uh, played subtly,
Hmm.
not over the top like most Bond villains are in the movies, but played subtly um, by Conti. So yeah, I, I liked most of it actually. So and it's and going back to Martin Jarvis who played Ian Fleming. This is directed and produced, I think, by him and his wife.
Yeah.
So I think Martin Jarvis has done them all. So he must be a big Fleming fan.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, we know. I mean, Martin Jarvis is a great actor. Also, his wife is as well. But Martin Jarvis is a great actor, and we know him from comedies and dramas and Doctor Who, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Barros. Um, so yeah, that's my little input to that. I'll pass it back to you. What's your moment?
Yeah. Well, we're there at the bottom, and and they're still talking about the shipwreck that they're looking for, but then they come upon the aircraft and the bomb and stuff, and that and that watch thing reacts, and Bond knows what he's got going on, and now he's got to deal with like the other people at the bottom. So that was pretty amazing anyway. And uh, let's see. Yeah, I liked the way that they made that sound so deep, and then the other thing was the other thing was, yeah, the way that it kind of felt like a yacht and not a cruise ship, but a big yacht, and just that sort of jet set kind of uh, super swish attitude. That was great. It was
Oh,
like
yeah, be like a big white yacht.
big, big
Oh,
yacht. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, like what the Russian oligarchs are getting taken back from. Anyway, like, yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
oh, oh. And so yeah, I really thought that they did a lot of cool things with this. And Tom Conti did a great job as Lago. I just, I can't say enough good things about him as an actor, him as a performer. Just his silly face. His face is so amazing. It's just like, but you don't see that in the audios. But
Well,
it just like I'm just painting the picture in my head.
you see, that's what you do with audio dramas.
Mhm.
You use your imagination, you paint the pictures in your head.
Yeah, it's
Um,
really
the-
nice.
Before I just want to, there
Yeah,
is one, there is a gripe. I've just remembered what I was going to mention about
please
this.
go ahead.
Great soundscapes, but no Bond music.
That's right. There wasn't any. It was all different orchestration.
There was no Bond theme. There was no what you expect from Bond is some music what ideally sounds like Bond.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe they couldn't use the Bond theme because of the
Pop.
movie copyright. Yeah, but you would have thought they might have tried to do something with the music.
Yeah. You reminded me that is true.
Yeah, there was no like intro music, like ding 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 ding. There was none of that. There was no Thunderball by Tom Jones. There was no theme song or anything like that. There was no even the music didn't sound like.
And we can talk at length about Tom Jones because all the Welsh people who are in our group are not here in this podcast. So yay, we can talk about Tom Jones if we want. Tom Jones is a fun singer, and
Mhm.
yes, Thunderball is a great song by.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
But yeah, that's what it was. It was for me personally. That's what it was lacking, but it didn't take it away from the good story and the acting. You should see. You think right? Oh, it's Thunderball. It's James Bond. There's no like music or there's no because that's what we're
It
used to.
wasn't
The
a
movie.
love scene when he was with Domino.
Yeah, the we've been spoilt by the movies.
Yeah, I guess we have. Good point.
But right, back to you. I just wanted to get
No,
that in
no,
before. I forgot.
that's really a good point. And so two problems according to Lee, and I'll go along with that because I noticed that there was the narration, and I knew that would bother him, and then I didn't notice that there was no music, as you get used to with the other Bond stories, but pretty cool. uh it's a pretty cool story anyway.
I
um
mean, it says here music by Mark Holden and Michael Lopez, but I was too more interested in listening to the story to hear any of this music.
well, that was just like the little background stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even underneath wording and stuff.
Mm.
So of course, you wouldn't be participate. You wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't be specifically um, focusing on that. Or yeah, so interesting. Um. Anyway, so what would you like to? Do you have anything else?
No, it's just a good drama which sticks to the book, not the movie, which I have no problems with that.
Yep.
Uh, Apart from that, yeah, an enjoyable 90 minutes. So,
So go
ooh,
ahead. Tell me what you rated and how you close this.
well, as I say, great Bond. Anything I love Bond. So, and to revisit Thunderball, fine by me. Great actors, great story. It's only sort of niggles, as I say, that narration gets to me slightly in this one, but it doesn't take away too much of my enjoyment, like some narration does.
Good.
Also, the music, when you realise that there's no sort of Bond-esque music through it, then
Yeah.
that sort of takes something away from it. So for me, I'm only going to drop it a point. It's 9 Disco Volantes out of 10. Big ship, big yacht.
Yeah. Okay. And I uh I'm not one of those people who loves Bond top of everything else, but I do um see them. I've seen every single movie that they have produced, and I do enjoy Connery Moore and uh, even Toby here. That was it was really good, and so yeah, and I think that Radio 4 doesn't have to go into narration
Mhm.
again, but if they're trying to just include Ian Fleming, they're going to get a point knocked off every time from Lee. But that's their choice. They're just going to have to make that tough choice, with Lee in mind, and sort of like weigh the
As if the BBC
the
above it.
critical response by Lee, as if the BBC. Well, you'll
The
see,
BBC don't care.
you'll see, Lee. Anyway, and so I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10 because I thought it was great. I thought that Tom Conti, of course, is dynamite and sweet and very sensual, and I will yeah, I would like to invite you guys to join us. If you don't agree with me, come join us and tell me what the hell is wrong with my thinking. I would invite you to do that. Yeah, just talk to Lee, get a camera, microphone, a device to use it on, and then also, you gotta have Zoom. And then the other thing is like, if you're gonna join us just to watch our videos, that's fine. That's just freaking perfect. And also, we love it if people who watch our videos on YouTube to subscribe and hit the bell notification, because we're going to turn out some every couple of weeks, or sorry, couple things every week. And yeah, we're back pretty much steady through the end of November, and then so yeah, and stay tuned, because pull as we round the corner through September and go into October, we're once again going to join the horror season with our horror podcast uh, shows. We're just going to get more more deeply dug into the horror genre, and we'd like to invite you to come and watch those, because even if what you're watching, what we're watching doesn't scare the shit out of you, we will scare the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, on a weekly basis.
And so yeah, thanks for watching our video, and yeah, join us on social media. That's the last bit I've got to say. And have a great one. And yeah, um, I'd like a martini, Lee, shaken, not stirred.
Oh, we do now.